The Hills still have eyes. But you know what I'm on about. As I did the original Hills Have Eyes, I figure what the fuck, let's do the Hills Have Eyes 2. Now this film, believe it or not, which you probably will know, gets a lot of stick. People say it's shit, they say it's garbage, they say it's rubbish. I, believe it or not, like I did with, bear with me, the 8th Friday the 13th, I'm going to offend it. Yep, I'm the only man who's going to make history and offend this film. Now, is it as good as the classic original? No, but I don't think it's as bad as what people make it out to be. And just like the original, this kept the original art cover. That there is the original art cover, what was in the video, just like the original. This is it. And I also love the heading in this, what was also marketed, where it says again, bear with me. So, you think it's lucky to be dead. Bear with me, because I'm going to kill my fucking dog. Sorry to fighting people with my dog, but they didn't want to shut up, I brought it up with me. But yeah, the Hills Have Eyes 2. And it's kind of funny this scene actually, because my dog's just reminded me. Hills Have Eyes 2 kind of reminds me, there's a funny scene in it with a dog has a fucking fastback. I shit you not, it has a fastback of what happened in the original. There's a bit though where it does so a lot, and I mean a fucking lot of what happened in this one. They have loads, and I mean fucking loads of fucking fastbacks. But I won't knock it. The only thing is you do get big two of them, and the bald one from the original gets confusing. As you all know, the dog killed him, ripped his fucking throat out, and it does have a fastback of that happening. So how the fuck is he in this one? How the fuck is he in it? The ultimate mindfuck. But because he was so popular at that time, you know, he did one Westhaven film, that being Jed the Blessings. Westhaven felt he'd bagged on it. At the time, Westhaven weren't going to do a sequel, because money talks, and he had the big success one day before, that being A Nightmare on Elm Street. He was pestered into doing a sequel, and originally he was going to call the film The Hills Still Have Eyes, but he felt the Hills Still Have Eyes would have been a bit confusing, so instead we've just called it The Hills Have Eyes Part 2. I do like the guy who they called the Reaper. People laugh at him because he's big and he's broke, he was like a biker, you know what I mean, but I like the fact he can get you and he crushes you to death with his bare fucking arms. He literally crushes a woman with his bare fucking arms, and you can lick her, hear the fucking blood. Well, not the blood, the dog's confusing me. You can lick her, hear her bones crush. You, stop being a little shit. Right? You can lick her, hear the bones crush, with fucking cussing her alive. Ugh. That's you, little shit. Right? He gets one woman's throat for a fucking window, slits her throat with the blade of a sword. This guy does not fuck about. He just does not fuck about. And you do get one guy who I think is quite funny actually, and you might remember him in Robocop 2, and he's quite funny in this. The acting's a bit naff. You've got your typical teenagers, if you believe in being teenagers. But there's one guy in it that he finds annoying. You miss me, na 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 na. Was that annoying? That's his character. I was only doing what he does in the fucking film. And happy to say he gets the first death. I always look at the Hills Have Eyes 2, if I can find it. I always look at Gone Again by Anchor Bay. I always look at this as being more of a slasher film, and it does have slasher elements. You do have a bit of cheapy music. It kind of reminds me of Friday the 13th. Remember Friday the 13th? It kind of reminds me of Friday the 13th. And I think at the time there was big fans with John Hooper, because to get the opening right, and if everyone remembers the classic Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you know, the opening, and it just started to make out that the original Hills Have Eyes was a true story. You get the words coming up saying what happened in the original one, what happened to the family, what got murdered, and the ones that got out alive. And if you remember the Hills Have Eyes, so this is from my brain, if you do remember Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that had that similarity, and now they're both opened in Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the Hills Have Eyes Part 2. They do have that opening, and that's what I do. I dilute it for that, you know what I mean? I dilute it. So yeah, the Hills Have Eyes Part 2, I didn't think it was that bad. Is it as good as the first one? Again, no it isn't. But I don't think it's as bad as what people make it out to be. There, the acting's a bit champy here and there, and some of the actors are a bit fucking annoying. I think even Wes Craven must have saw that, because he killed the most annoying character off straight away. My only issue is, you got the character Ruby, who we all know was in the original, who was one of the Moon families, but one of the good sides. And you don't know if she's dead or alive, right? Because this big fucker here, the one I'm talking about, the Reaper, he knocks Ruby on her ass with a man tap, right? And she bangs her head. And you don't see her body later on. Doesn't mention if she'd come out alive or she was knocked out, whatever. And it never mentions whether she's dead or alive. But if she was dead, why didn't the fucking film just say she was dead? And it kind of pissed me off that if she did get killed off, after all the shit she went through in number 1, why the fuck do you kill her off in this? I always felt it would have been better that she would have been the main fucking character and got the revenge on the Moon family, who was the original family, and wiped them out. Rightly so. You do get one guy in it who was in the original one, you know, the one who was the young lad. And he has flashbacks. There's a lot of flashbacks, they're just so bits of memory fucking lane of what happened in the Tasset. Original Hills Have Eyes. But again, I don't think Wes Craven was going to make one. He was pushed. And even Wes Craven hated the sequel. He actually, believe it or not, he disowned, I'm fucking down now, see him, I'm disowning it. He actually disowned the Hills Have Eyes 2. Not making this shit up, look it up. He actually disowned it and said it was the worst film he ever did. You know, I'm not going to be disrespectful. Wes Craven is no longer with us. May he rest in peace. But I don't think the Hills Have Eyes 2 is that bad. You know, I don't think it's that bad. Maybe because it was the first one I saw before I saw the original. But I don't think it was that bad. You know, I had a few gruesome deaths. The scene where he got the door and he crushes her with his bare arms. You got the scene where he slits that fucking door's throat. You know, he pushes a fucking woman through a window. This big fucker called the Reaper, he definitely doesn't fuck about. And he gets the bitty awesome death. He gets fucking butt on fire. He's screaming and he falls to his doom. The only issue I have is, did you have to kill Ruby off? I like Ruby. And it's this guy fucking Freddy's fucking long lost brother. No, Freddy fucking Krueger. He got killed loads of fucking times. Because in the original, he had his throat whipped out. In this, he comes back to life. Granted, he does die in the film. The dog knocks him off and he falls to his doom. There's one bit that was funny though, because I think there was a fuck up in that scene where you do actually tend to see the camera lens filming it, and you do see the film, but it's a two-way film. There's a bit of a fuck up in that scene, but it's funny to see the bad guy come back to life to get killed by the dog again. But yeah, Hills Have Eyes 2, is it as good as the first one? No, but it's not as bad as what people make it out to be. I can name loads and fucking loads of sequels where I think suck fucking assholes. But the Hills Have Eyes 2, I don't think it's that bad. And I was the only man to ever defend that. Into then, I'll see you later. What do you think of the film, Lucy? Do you think it's that bad? Do you think it's that bad? See you later. See? Even she likes it.